Have you ever felt misunderstood simply because of your age? Maybe you've heard someone from a different generation say, they just don't get it, whether it's about values, work ethics, or social priorities. These gaps between generations often lead to conflict, not because we want to disagree, but because we fail to see the world through each other's eyes. This phenomenon is known as value and attitude blindness. Value blindness is when we don't recognize or respect someone else's priorities. Attitude blindness happens when we misinterpret behavior shaped by generational experiences. Both are common in today's workplace and society, especially between two prominent groups, which is older millennials that are born between 1981 and 1996, and Gen Z, born after 1997. So, in this video, I am going to tell you about 4 learning objectives that we will understand after we finish this presentation. The first one is the definition of the terms values and attitudes. And the second one is I will define value and attitude blindness in older generation and Gen Z in workplace. And the third one is I will going to explain about how values and attitudes are connected to one another and the impact of this blindness to workplace. And the last one is about the solution for overcoming blindness in value and attitude in our society. The first one is values. Values are the principles or ideals we hold as is important, good, desirable, or worthwhile. They are our basic and fundamental beliefs that are closely linked to our identity and they guide or motivate our attitudes and behaviors. Values are usually stated as a word or short phrase and are usually positive. Here are the examples of values. There's a lot, isn't it? The first one, we can see acceptance or belonging, or we can see loyalty or trust, or we can see the values of simplicity in our life, or we can see the responsibility within one person, and then we can see the kindness, individuality, generosity, nurturing, leadership, and many more. There are shared values and personal values. Shared values refer to the principles, beliefs, or standards that are commonly held and upheld by a group, organizations, community, or society. In organizations, shared values help align employees with the mission and vision of the company, while in a broader society, shared values contribute to social harmony and collective well-being. It's different with personal values. Personal values are those that shape and influence our own lives, and they might sometimes challenge dominant cultural or societal values or attitudes. Our unique perspective and personal context, for instance like age, gender, life experience, inform this. They might also shift or change throughout our lives due to different circumstances. Next, we come to the attitudes. An attitude is a way of thinking or feeling towards something. It might be a stance regarding a situation, idea, character, event, or issues. Our attitudes are shaped by our values. Attitudes can be expressed through our thoughts, actions, and behaviors. There are a lot of examples of attitudes as I shown in this table. We can see that there is authoritative attitude, reckless attitude, rebellious attitude, courageous, self-righteous, supportive, accepting, optimistic, and many more. Same as the values, attitudes are differentiated into shared and personal attitude. Shared attitude is the same way that values can be personal, social, or cultural. Our attitudes may not always be exclusive to us, but can be shared by others or associated by particular groups. We can refer to attitudes as dominant if they are naturalized within a particular culture or society. Meanwhile, personal attitude is a set of beliefs, feelings, or ways of thinking that shape how a person reacts to different situations or interacts with others. It involves both the mental outlook and emotional responses that someone holds. Attitudes can be positive, negative, neutral, and are often influenced by a person's experiences, values, culture, and environment. And then we move into different topic about blindness and values and attitude. How to differentiate them? Value blindness occurs when someone fails to recognize or respect another person's values or priorities. For example, an older millennial might prioritize job security because they were shaped by the economic struggles of the 2008 financial crisis. They value stability in their careers and prefer to follow traditional professional paths. And attitude blindness happens when someone misinterprets another generation's behavior because of differing social norms. For instance, Gen Z, influenced by social media and growing up during Hayden's climate activism, places a higher emphasis on flexibility, work-life balance, and social justice. What millennials might see as entitlement or lack of loyalty is often Gen Z expressing their value for adaptability and meaningful work. How did that happen? How is there a different values and attitude beliefs in millennials and Gen Z? In millennials, it happened because millennials experienced the economic crash of 2007 until 2008, which led to job losses and underemployment, influencing their desire for stability. According to a report from Pew Research, more than half of millennials prioritize job security when choosing careers. Meanwhile, in Gen Z, exposure to global social movement and technology is significant. A Deloitte study in 2022 found that 77% of Gen Z values flexibility and work-life balance, compared to only 59% of older millennials. As we can see in the value, a LinkedIn Workforce Confidence Index in 2021 reported that 74% of millennials believe in climbing a career ladder within one organization, compared to only 43% of Gen Z, who often favor short-term, impactful roles and side hustles. A millennial manager shaped by pre-digital work environments prefers traditional hierarchies and clear authoritarian structures. When Gen Z employees advocate for flat hierarchies and collaborative decision-making, it can be perceived as disrespectful or insubordinate. However, this isn't due to stubbornness or rigidity. It is the result of differing life experiences, as I explained before. Meanwhile, in attitude, according to a 2023 study by Morning Consult, 71% of Gen Z consumers prefer brands that actively take a stand on social issues, while only 48% of millennials prioritize this in their purchasing decisions. This generational divide underscores the different attitudes towards balancing profit with purpose. Gen Z's activism-driven mindset and push for corporate social responsibility are sometimes viewed by millennials as naive or impractical. For instance, a Gen Z team member may advocate for a strong brand stance on social justice, believing that companies should prioritize values over profits. Meanwhile, millennials, particularly those in leadership, may see this as risky, fearing it could alienate customers or hurt business growth. And when millennials' desire for stability clashes with Gen Z's drive for flexibility and social action, these conditions create impacts that could disturb the workforce. For instance, miscommunication and conflict, misunderstanding, decreased productivity, limits the innovation between coworkers, and create negative generational stereotypes which will lead to hinder collaboration in workplace. In this case, bridging this gap requires mutual understanding. Millennials need to see Gen Z's push for flat hierarchies as a desire for innovation, not disrespect. Gen Z should recognize that caution from millennials is rooted in lived experiences of economic instability, not resistance to change. And then, what is the solution to overcoming the blindness? The solution to overcoming the blindness is we can do. And then, what is the solution to overcoming the blindness that happened between generations? The solution to overcoming the blindness is that we can do an open dialogue, which we encourage both generations to talk openly and listen to each other's views. And then we can do a shared goals, which focus on what both generations want, success and innovation, and make sure these goals align with the company's mission. After that, we can do a mentorship, which we set up programs where millennials can mentor Gen Z and vice versa to learn from each other's strength. And then after that, we can imply a flexible work culture in our workforce that can balance millennials' and need for stability with Gen Z's desire for flexibility. And then we can do empathy and training, which provide training to help both generations understand and respect each other's differences. And to end this presentation, I would like to tell you a conclusion. In conclusion, to succeed in today's fast-changing world, we must embrace the strength of both millennials and Gen Z. By fostering open communication, focusing on shared goals, and offering flexibility, we can create a workplace where both generations thrive. Mentorship program will allow us to learn from each other, while training will ensure we respect and understand our differences. The time to bridge this gap is now, because when we work together, we unlock our full potential. Together, let's create a future where collaboration drives innovation and success. Thank you all for listening to my video. My name is Shafira Fatma Rifani. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.